DiViNCi.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be here, first of all. I gotta thank everyone that put it together, everyone that showed up. You know, I grew up in a place called Wilmsdorf, Pennsylvania. It's a very small town, maybe about half the size of this room. And in my school, I was the only Filipino. There was no other Pinoys, anything. So I didn't really have a sense of culture except when I would go and all the food at my grandmother's house. And my dad's Filipino, my mother is white, so I'm proper half and half. But I always had a connection with it. And even more so than I realized, because my father would teach me martial arts. And I've been studying martial arts my whole life. Before I could even walk, I started teaching. And it wasn't until a couple years ago I realized that that's my main profession, or my main calling in life, is a martial artist. Yes, I travel the world doing music, I do talks, I do all these things. But music, speaking, everything is just a weapon for me to my original art, which is martial arts, because it's taught me everything. And I didn't even realize. It's something I took for granted, because it's just something I did before I could even walk and talk. So a lot of that informs what I learn, what I employ, and what I practice in my life. And I'm pretty convinced that everything I'd ever need to know is hidden in that art. And it always reveals itself to be true. So I started a company called DiViNCi, which is my mentoring, coaching, creative coaching, and education platform. And through that, I do a lot of one-on-one work with people. And my main goal is to just normalize the ideas that I know are in everyone's best interest, right? And I know that's a presumptuous thing to say, but it's pretty easy to know what is in your best interest, and when you know what's in your best interest, you pretty much know what's in other people's best interest too. Not that I go around telling people what to do, but I just really go around encouraging people to really love themselves and get out of their own way. So I bring this up because usually I do like 45-minute talks, 90-minute talks, and they said, well, we got 10, 15 minutes. I was like, oh, okay. I like to talk. But I thought, okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll just cut right to the solutions. So I just want to cut right to the solutions that I always find that I get to with any session with anybody, with any person that I talk to. And I challenge everyone to challenge me and poke holes through it. Because if you win, great. That means that I get to practice more in making it less poke-holeable. And then also just making it stronger and stronger. But also, these are dynamic things. These are things that aren't necessarily just a static rule that applies to everyone. They're equations. And in equations, there are variables, x, y, and z. And it's up to you to plug in your numbers, the personal numbers of context in your life, into those equations. The equations are true. X plus y always equals z, right? So, first and foremost, what's the number one thing that everyone thinks gets in their way? What's like, anyone?
Not enough time.
What's that?
Not enough time.
Not enough time.
False.
What's up?
Huh? I said it's like a false conception for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a false conception. I know, but false conceptions could be made real by the power of us to make false conceptions real. You know, we can make many things real in our eyes, and if we practice it enough, it feels real. So, yeah, not enough time. The perception of not enough time. What's another thing? Fear. That's a good one. Okay, one more. Let's do threes.
I don't have the skills to do something.
Not good enough. Don't have the skills. Okay, cool. So it's funny. Last night, while we were at dinner, my assistant sent me this. It was a meme from IG or Instagram, and I wasn't sure if this was appropriate, so it says, when you finally catch that that's been holding you down. He's got this little boy. He's got a boot on his face. And I thought, that's sad, right? But then I looked at the rest of it, and he's holding a little bit. And the funny thing was, there was a hashtag on this, and it said, live your best life. And I was like, well, I gotta use that tomorrow. right? Somebody's been following me, stalking me, and they said, I want him to use this in his talk tomorrow. So there I am, I'm going to use it today. And I think you said it yourself. That's the number one thing that gets in the way of you and anything that you want to do. See, speaking of memes, we have all the answers today, you know, in our pocket. We don't even have to, like, touch this thing to use it anymore. It's either on our pocket or our wrist. We have all the inspirational memes that we could be drowning in them, you know? We have summits like this where there's so many answers given. Why is it that when you get inspired from looking at the internet, you go home, or you go home from a very inspirational day like today, that even with the answers, you're not able to implement them, right? There's a key to it, and the key is, it's just because we're not taught the skill of doing what's in our best interest, right? And if we're taught it, it's as an afterthought in context of the other skill that we really practice a lot, which is doing things that aren't necessarily in our best interest. So I have this saying, and it comes from what I learned from martial arts, and it's that God is a skill, right? And that means two things to me. First of all, everything is a skill. That's what it is to me. Every single thing. You know, I have people that come to me, entrepreneurs, musicians, people that have creative blocks or whatever, and they say, well, let's choose something. I want to lose weight, and I'm just not good at it. And I say, hold on. Maybe you're not good at losing weight, but just really good at keeping it. Right? This is a funny thing, right? Maybe you're just really good at holding on to weight. This is key. The reason why I say this is because you can say, oh, you're just kind of, you know, being an optimist looking on this. No, optimism is imaginary. It's a strategy, if anything. And the truth of the matter is it's just way more accurate. Because if you're not losing weight, more than likely, you're just practicing the skill of holding on to it, right? Everything is a skill. So you're just really good at the skill that counters the skill that you say you want, right? The reason why it's important to frame things this way is A, first of all, we're really good at beating ourselves up. We're really good at putting that boot on our face and then blaming others for it, right? We're fantastic at it. That's a skill that we all practice really well. You know, that's another thing I learned from martial arts. Is like, a lot of times I don't even have to fight you. You're just hurting yourself already. So, I mean, it's sad, but it's true. It's true. And I say this as Asians and Asian Americans, and just the culture, period, of this particular culture in the United States, mixed with traditions and traditions of false humility. False humility. Not humility that is just what the definition of humility is just like being honest with who you are. But going the other direction and beating yourself up. We're really good at that. So I bring this up because when you start to look at the thing that you're good at, the skill that you are mastering, and stop saying, oh, I'm bad at this thing, it does a couple things. The first thing that it does is it says, well, I'm not saying I'm necessarily bad at it. It kind of gives you space to realize what you're actually doing instead of just immediately go to a place of should or guilt, right? And from those places, not a lot of productivity happens. So it gives you a little space. Gives you a little space when you beat yourself up. The other thing is, it's just a lot more accurate. You're doing something. It's not like you're not doing anything. You're always doing something. And if you're good at a particular skill, why are you good at it? Because you practice. And that's all that really matters in the world. It doesn't matter what your job title is. Everything is about the ing of things. You could be a plumber, but are you plumbing? You know what I mean? You could exercise, are you exercising? You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that matter. Breath doesn't mean anything unless you're breathing, right? So, these are things to look at And just like little language hacks to yourself, you could find yourself doing something bad. If you're not doing something well enough, you're not doing something good. Find the counter skill that you are doing instead, that you're practicing, that you're getting really good at. At that point, you get to ask yourself, well, do I want to continue getting better at this? Do I want to continue getting better at holding on to weight? And then it just becomes about, okay, well, this is a skill, and I'm taking up my time practicing this skill. What's the other skill I want to do instead? What else do I want to practice? Okay? So, along the theme of beating yourself up, there was a point in my life when, I did a really good job of getting rid of my ego. I had a lot of issues with my ego at one point, and it wasn't even like I was big-headed. I do have a pretty big head, but that's not really. It wasn't even so much that. It was more so that I was just obsessed with perception of myself, because that's a skill I was taught. Very much a skill that we all practice, most of us. And there was one little hanging thing that kind of disproved to me that I had gotten over these ego things. And that was, sometimes I'd get off stage, and I'm going to do a little performance just to so I get off stage, and I do my thing, and then I get off stage, and somebody will be like, oh my God, you're incredible. Like, how do you do that? Like, what is that, bro? Like, right? And I just be like, it's kind of awkward. So like that to me proved, oh, I must be humble. You know what I mean? That natural awkwardness, that must be coming from a place of humbleness. But then in the same night, some other actor would be up there, and some other guy was standing here, and even somebody I know would be watching me. Dude, you see this? This is incredible! Oh my God, this guy's the truth, blah, 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 blah. And in my head, I was like, don't say that about me, So then I was like, wait, that is not humble, right? That's egoic. That's egotistical. And I would look at this and I'd be like, that doesn't add up. That's me taking a very canned answer for a very real compulsion that a lot of us have, and just saying that it's true to me. So I took some time and I tried to figure that out, because that didn't add up to me. I'm going to give you guys the loophole to kind of give yourself credit, to be able to get over that. Because a lot of the problems that are going to stem from you not feeling comfortable self-promoting, not feeling comfortable owning who you really are. And that's super important, because I know a lot of people in this room are great. They have access to greatness and they use it, but they won't ever talk about it. And I know a lot of people out there that aren't using it well, and aren't executing well, and are super loud about it. Right? Why must we be quiet? I think it's all in all of our best interests to be truthfully and unashamed and unapologetic in our ownership of the greatness we have access to. And here's how I do it. What I realized is, one of the things I learned from martial arts is my dad taught me. My dad would go, when he was younger, he'd go to kids' class, and practice, and then he'd wait around for a couple hours till the adults came in and get his basketball, right? So he trained in a way where it was just driven by passion. He really wanted to just be great. He wanted to access the greatness he saw from Bruce Lee and other amazing martial artists. And he was really humble about it. I remember my Lola's house, she had nothing but trophies of his all over the place. She's like, what do you want to do with these things? I don't know. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know, these shows up with my friends, But the thing was, he just loved his art. And the thing that I found out about myself wasn't too much different. So the thing I found out is I practice not to show people how good I am, but because I have seen greatness in the world, and I just want to raise the stock on it, right? I want people to see more of it. And the way that I can do that is I can take part in greatness. I don't own it. I can let it come through me if I work at it enough, if I practice the skill of allowing greatness to come through me. And that's what I learned was my main hang-up in both situations. And I was like, oh my God, you're so great. And oh my God, he's so great. Isn't this guy so great? And I was thinking, why aren't you saying that about me? In both situations, it had nothing to do with humility or my ego. Everything to do with, I know my process. And my process is I want to represent something bigger than myself, greatness, right? I want to represent it. And when they come to me and say, oh my God, you're so great, it'll be like, I think you're missing the point. We all are. I'm just doing the moves that allow greatness to come through me. So yeah, commend my practice, but my skill is coming from somewhere else. You know, I'm not a trained musician, yet I became Lauryn Hill's band leader, you know, leading amazing musicians that, you know, living legends, let alone herself. And this is all just a kid from Wilmsdorf who started making beats in his little bedroom, you know? But it's because I had a respect for life, a respect for, you know, something bigger, and a respect for greatness enough to try to do the work within myself to allow it to come through. So that when people come up to me, I can now say, oh, I appreciate that. It took a lot of work to get there. And then when they say something about somebody else who I know isn't putting the same stock in greatness that I am, I can wholeheartedly say, like, they're not doing it. Check this out, right? And that is the loophole that I found in ownership. It's like giving up ownership, right? Understanding that it doesn't belong to me, it's just something that I'm getting to take part in. That's right. So I think that that's a really good way to live your best life, is to start by taking ownership in the fact that you're a part of it. And thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, DiViNCi. I know the man who motivates the gerunds. You perform or are you performing? Are we ending? Okay, so Mompy, but thank you to our panelists. I feel like just being in your presence, I'm living my best life. Yay!
Thank you so much. It was really entertaining, at the same time it was very enlightening. And before we have DiViNCi